Season 1, I met Aaron, and we started to develop the show. He had a pretty solid idea of what he wanted the show to be, and I was happy to come on board and lend whatever it is that I have to the process. I come from network comedy, and their boundaries are so constricted that you don't really get to say a lot.
Do you know you can't even say fag on TV anymore? You can say nigga all day, but you can't say fag. Say fag and they'll bleep it. Say nigga, no problem. Watch. Nigga, nigga, nigga. Fag, fag, fag. Nigga, fag, nigga, fag, fag. Nigga, nigga, fag, fag.
Thank God for uncensored DVDs.
And it was the first time I got an opportunity to really tell jokes, be part of a storytelling process that was free. You could say anything. It was like a conversation. It was the type of jokes you'd have in a locker room or sitting around talking to a bunch of guys. You could actually speak freely.
You read what's on the page, and that's it. Got it?
Huey, what about you? Don't you believe in my right to tell the truth?
Just read what's on the damn page.
You know, I love late 70s comics, you know, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, you know, guys that were incredibly honest and flawed. I'm certainly flawed. And so being able to just speak freely, it's directly related to that, you know. So that influence for me, not saying that I'm anywhere near those guys, but that influences me to this day and the type of stuff that I like to write and the type of stuff that I like to create.
Uncle Ruckus ain't got no dog in this fight. I hate niggers and I hate faggots. And I especially hate when they both combine together, like that damn RuPaul. Two things I hate in one.
For episodes that I pitched, I would look for things that the community was divided on. And if there were extremes on one side, like people loved R. Kelly or they hated R. Kelly. So it made, for me, a perfect episode to pitch.
As soon as I got arrested, I said, I want the dude that got R. Kelly off.
At the end of the day, it was always that division. For me, the balance of that division.
And we got real meth and crack-addicted kids at the gift shop. Use them as your servants. We don't give a fuck.
We live in a politically correct society, and it's almost like if you see an article like the football player, the first gay football player in the NFL.
I'm just gonna go ahead for the record and say a no homo over this whole conversation.
You'll see a politically correct article, but then underneath, if you read the comments, that's kind of the division of what America really thinks. And you have some that are good and some that are, I won't judge it as good or bad, but you have extremes of opinions. I think the show kind of captured those extremes.
Here, we don't say no homo. We say yes homo. Let's try it.
Whatever, nigga. No homo over this whole conversation.
Race, you know, it's such a taboo topic because you're so afraid to offend anyone that you don't get that degree of honesty.
Every gain in U.S. history has been because oppressed people weren't afraid to fight. If we don't fight, we're saying it's okay for them to own everything.
You know, even if it was subjective, you know, it was still a form of honesty, and at least I think in several circles it started dialogue.
Yeah, come on, guys. That annoying kid has a point. Let's revolt this bitch. That's right.
The African American community doesn't necessarily look at satire the same way. You know, there's a sensitivity that's there, and maybe rightfully so. Who's to say?
Don't you ever question whether or not I beat Christiana. I whooped that bitch's ass.
But there's certainly a sensitivity. If on Saturday Night Live, Sarah Palin, you make a Sarah Palin joke, next week Sarah Palin may be on Saturday Night Live lampooning herself. That doesn't necessarily exist on the other side, you know, and I think it's because we take so many shots, you know, from so many different places that maybe we haven't evolved to the place as far as creatively, television, and being able to lampoon ourselves. So it's a fine line.
You don't understand how complicated it is being me. I say shit all the time I didn't even know I said.
I think if you go back and you look at like In Living Color or a Richard Pryor show or a Chappelle show, those shows still kind of stand up and really don't feel dated because they're honest in their way. And I think the show kind of falls within the confines of that.
Well, if you got to be broke, at least there's TV to make it better.
Especially shows of color on networks, typically they don't talk about being of color.
Look at the breasts, the butts. Yay!
Hey! Can't you see this is what the 1% wants? For us to become slackers that zone out on TV and eat cheap food?
It's reflective of what I think American society wants us to be. It's like a melting pot. You really don't talk about race or racial issues. And Now that you've kind of been in this other world where you were able to talk about race, you want to bring that in. And I think shows like Modern Family have given that opportunity. I think you'll see shows in the near future that kind of embody some sense of truth-telling, because you can't stay, you had the Norman Lear era, and then you had an era where it was just like a very jokey time where you had stand-ups who had their own shows.
Tell me, you ungrateful bastard, what could ever be greater than Freedom Land?
And now I think you're getting into a place where there's much more reflective of what's going on in society.
Freedom.
So I think we're entering into that era, and I think shows like this play a role in that.